this is Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to another daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum, and Ripple's XRP. We'll be having a look at the MACDs, the moving averages, and the support and resistance levels. It is Saturday, the 18th of July. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the dollar and the hourly candlesticks. Slightly bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid or fall through the pivot at 91.55. Support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 92.07. Going to need to see support from the broader market to break back through to 9,200 levels, however. So buying extended rally, that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 91.94 should cap any upside. A fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 91.15 into play. Buying extended sell-off should see Bitcoin avoid sub 9,000s. Got the second major support level sitting at 90.63 to limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we're showing a narrowing of the bullish histograms and a possible bearish crossover, suggesting a pullback on the day. We are, however, seeing a narrowing of the 50 EMA against the 100 and the 200. So avoiding that pivot will be key through the morning, and then we could see a breakout through to 9,200s. Moving across to EOS against the dollar and the hourly candlestick. Slightly positive start to the day. Going to need to see EOS avoid a fall through the pivot at 250.5 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 252.27. Buying extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level and yesterday's high sitting at 252.33 should limit any upside. Pullback through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 47.61 into play. Buying extended sell-off should see EOS avoid sub 2.4 levels. We've got the third major support level sitting at 2.4065 to limit any downside. Looking at the MACDs, not much movement there. Going to need to see EOS avoid that pivot. On the EMAs, we are seeing a narrowing of the 50 against the 100 and 200, but nothing to give any indications of what lies ahead. So look for support and resistance level and the pivot levels through the morning. Moving across to Ethereum against the dollar, slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 232.70. Support a run at the first major resistance level at 234.55. Barring extended rally on the day, first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 234.55 should limit the upside on the day. Failure to break back through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 230.86 into play. Barring extended sell-off should see Ethereum avoid sub 225 levels. We would expect the second major support level at 229 to come into play in the event of an extended pullback. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a possible bearish crossover, and we're seeing a widening of the EMA from the 100 and 200, suggesting a bearish day ahead. So a move through the pivot will be key. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the dollar and the hourly candlestick, slightly bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP break through the pivot at 1949 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 1982. Going to need to see support from the broader market to break back through to 1980s, however. Barring extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.19842 should limit any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP target 0.20 levels before any pullback. Failure to break through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 1913 into play. Barring extended sell-off should see Ripple's XRP avoid the second major support level sitting at 1880. Looking at the MACD, we've seen a bearish crossover there, and we're seeing a widening of the bearish histogram suggesting a pullback on the day. We're also seeing the 50 widening against the 100 and the 200. So a move through the pivot will be key to support a move back through to 0.2 levels, which will be needed to support that near-term bullish trend.